everyone, my name is Yera Deviyana and today I will present to you about math versus language. So this bar chart illustrates what third grade students' skills in some lessons. As you can see in the bar math, we only got 1/10 subject and 4 object. Only 10%. That's the percentage of third graders who are proficient in math. As an Asian, we pride ourselves as being an exceptional person. But 10% sounds exceptional to you? We all need math. But why are so many kids confused by it? Is it because only 10% of people are hardwired for math? Well, 90% are not. I can tell you this isn't the case at all. Kids don't understand math because we've been teaching it as a dehumanized subject. But if you made math human again, it will start to make sense again. You're probably wondering, how is math is human in the first place? So think about it. Math is a human language, just like English, Spanish, and Chinese, because it allows people to communicate with each other. Even in ancient times, people needed the language of math to connect trades, to build monuments, and to measure the land for farming. This idea of math as a language isn't exactly new. A great philosopher once said, "The laws of nature are written in the language of mathematics." So you see, even Galileo agrees with me. But somewhere along the line, we've taken this language of math, which is about the real world around us, and we've abstracted it beyond recognition, and that's why kids are confused. Let me show you what I mean. Read this. Third grade Jakarta International School Math Standards and see it will make sense to an 8-year-old. Understand a fraction. 1/b as a quantity formed by one part when whole is partitioned into b equal parts. Understand a fraction. a/b as a quantity formed by a parts of size 1/b. And if you give this description to an 8-year-old, you probably get a reaction like this. To a math expert, this standard makes sense, but to a kid, it's absolute torture. I chose this example specifically because fractions are foundational to algebra, trigonometry, and even calculus. So if kids don't understand fraction in elementary and middle school, they've got a tough road ahead of them in high school. But is there a way to make fractions simple and easy for kids to understand? Yes, just remember that math is a language and use that to your advantage. I start with the apples lessons. First, I ask what 1 apple plus 1 apple, and kids will often say 2, which is partially correct. Have them include the words as well since the math is a language. So it's not just 2, it's 2 apples. Next is 3 pencils plus 2 pencils. You all know that pencils give you pencils. So how many pencils? 5 pencils is right, and the key is you included the words. I tried this lesson with my 5-year-old brother. Once after he added pencils and pencils, I asked him what 4 billion plus 1 billion. And my mother overheard this and she scolded me instead. "You crazy, he's in kindergarten. How he's supposed to know 4 billion plus 1 billion? And daunted, my brother, counting, looks up and says, 5 billion? And I said, that's right. It is 5 billion. My mom just shook her head and laughed because she did not expect that from a 5-year-old, but all you have to do is take a language across and math becomes intuitive and easy to understand. Then I asked him a question that kindergartners are definitely not supposed to know. What 1/3 plus 1/3? And immediately he answered, 2/3. So if you're wondering how could he possibly know that when he doesn't know about numerators and denominators? Yet you see he wasn't thinking about numerators and denominators. He thought of the problem this way and he used 1 apple plus 1 apple as his analogy to understand 1/3 plus 1/3. So if even a kindergartner can add fractions, you better believe that every 5th grader can do it as well. Just for fun, I asked him a high school algebra questions. What's 7x squared plus 2x squared? And this little 5-year-old boy correctly answered 9x squared. And he didn't any exponent rules to figure that out. So when people say that we are either hardwired for math or not, it's not true. Math is a human language, so we all have the ability to understand it. We need to take a language approach to math urgently. Because too many kids are lost and they're anxious about math, and it doesn't have to be that way. You'll be surprised how many kids don't realize 7 times 3 can be spelled out as 7 times 3, which just means 37 times, just like this. So when kids see it this way, they quickly realize that repeated additions is slow and inconvenient, so they gladly memorize that 3 7 times always give you 21. So I leave you with this challenge. Our people is stuck at 10% proficiency, and I challenge you to push that number higher. This is important because mathematical thinking not only builds young minds, but our kids need it to imagine and build a future that doesn't yet exist. Meeting this challenge can be as simple as apples plus apples. Insist that we teach math as a human language, and we will get there sooner rather than later. Thank you very much for today's presentation from me. I hope this can be a benefit to you. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.